Welcome to Legacy and Grit, where finance meets the front lines. I'm here with my co-host, Nelson Pizarro, your IBC strategist, showing you how to take control of your money through building generational wealth. I'm Gabe Matthews, Christian Brothers Emergency Building Services, helping businesses and communities when they come into disaster needs. Together, me and Nelson are just trying to go over real life stories, strategies, what entrepreneurs go through in the office, out of the office. Just kind of talk about real life stuff and what we want, what we want you guys to learn from, what we've struggled with, and what we want you to help overcome.
Yep. Perfect. So let's start off with today.
Pause it up. You redo the whole thing too now.
Okay. Welcome to Legacy and Grit, where finance meets the front lines. I'm Nelson Pizarro, your IBC strategist, showing people how to take control of your money and build generational wealth. This is Gabe Matthews. He's a boots on the ground emergency services specialist, helping families recover and rebuild. Together, we're diving into real stories, raw business struggles, and entrepreneur wins from San Diego County and beyond. Whether you're in the boardroom or on the job site, this podcast brings you strategies, stories, and systems that actually work.
Also in the room, we never want to forget our lead engineer in the back, Luke Matthews.
Executive producer.
Thanks, Luke, for getting behind the mic and the video. Luke, give us a thank you.
Thank you.
Right on.
I don't think you can hear him, but he said
thank you.
You're welcome. All right, now let's go for Banking for Legacy. Today's our first podcast. This is just the intro of what we're trying to do here. We came up, I introduced this idea to you, Gabe. Uh-huh. And it was funny because you had kind of a similar situation of saying that you wanted to do a podcast.
Yes.
You didn't know when and how and what the podcast was about, well, besides doing the emergency services. But how can you build it that will be sustainable, that you can do multiple episodes and not just 3 to 4 of just talking about water damage, fire, or restoration work.
Yeah. So
for you, I'll let you go first. How did this, why are you wanting to do this podcast?
I guess I've just been thinking about it for a long time, and there's a lot of things out there that we go through as businessmen or women, as fathers, as friends. You have so many life experiences, and we only have a small group of people that we can connect with. We think we connect, we have this other group through social media, through your LinkedIn, your Instagram stuff. But are we really connected? We death scroll, right? So I was thinking, why can't we bring stuff to the table that we go through on a personal level? And man, if we can just help a couple people through this, that was my thing. My hesitation, not a hesitation, and I don't really want to call it a failure. You can't fail something if you don't start it, right?
Yep.
My hard part is I love having these ideas, and where I think me and you get along together and do stuff is I have a lot of cool ideas. You really make things happen. Mm-hmm. So I've had this idea, maybe I've been sharing it with you here and there, and then you're just here just making it happen. Mm-hmm. So that's huge that we can kind of get together and do this together.
Yeah, it's awesome. One of the biggest things that I've noticed as an entrepreneur is that one word of just do it. Oh, actually that's 2 words.
Yeah,
do it.
It's 3 words actually.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Oh, Nike, I guess we're doing a promo from.
Are we doing a plug for Nike?
Oh, we can do plug. I'm wearing Nike right now. But I believe those are the biggest challenges when we get so many ideas and then all of a sudden we don't know which one to start off with, like you're saying. And especially podcasts, it's gone so normal since after COVID that everybody's doing podcasts. So they're not doing podcasts for their health. They're doing it physically to make money, introduce somebody to a new product so that they can make money, or educate somebody, and then eventually they make money after that because somebody is going to call them up and say, hey, I heard you're in the podcast. I loved what you're doing. I understand what you're saying, but how can we do this? So for my inspiration, it was I do a lot of different things. And in the business world, I'm not scared of I wouldn't say risk, but I'm not, I just like doing different things, and I enjoy building and just starting different projects and try to go as far as I can. And the cool part is that we came from two different sides. You came from
Of the world?
railroad.
No, just of the
rails?
world. Where Nelson?
No. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yes, but also
I'm from California.
not even from Florida.
You're
let's
from
just say
Colombia.
Colombia, Miami. But not even that, but just how the normal of how our society became telling us that we have to go to school. So high school and then going into college.
Don't get me started.
That's going to
Don't
be
get me started.
that's going to be the one educational piece that we're going to give to people, because there is always two routes.
Yep.
And it just depends where you're going to go with that route, and are you really going to do the just do it right now?
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if you don't go to school and you just ended up doing what you're doing now, or if you go to school and you did 4 different jobs.
Yeah.
And then you finally found the one that you enjoy and you're making the money out of. So
what you're telling me is
do it.
someone that has an education, right? You went through high school, through college, you have your degree.
Well, I guess let me give you the background of what I have so you can understand.
and
then
then
we'll
you got
give
me
you.
over here that barely graduated high school.
Yep.
How do we link up together, and how are we making this happen?
So for on my side, so everybody knows, I went to school in a Division II school in Tennessee, about 45 minutes from Knoxville. And I did like everybody else, didn't have a clue of what degree to get to. And I think that's one of the biggest challenges that I see youth, that they don't know what to do when they get into that situation. And it could be
Into the college situation?
into college, or even to the working world, or even just buying a car, or deciding to go move over here. We constantly do it because somebody tells us, but we don't know what the real motivation is. So for me, I did it, and I just ended up doing business, thinking that's the easiest. The other easy one was
Nelson,
PE.
stop, hold on. Let's pause for a second. You
Let's hear
guys,
this.
he's not going to talk about this. You didn't go to school. You were
Okay.
you were a up and coming, wanted to be a professional soccer player.
Yes.
Right?
yes.
Let's go all the way
is
back.
True.
Your mom owned a soccer center, right?
Indoor
You
facility. Yeah.
lived, eat, breathed soccer.
Yep.
7
Played every
days a
day.
week. Right?
Hours.
Hung around the facility, play.
Yep.
So could we say, like, your lifelong dream was you wanted to be a professional
Correct.
athlete, a soccer star, right? And you used college as a means to get there. Correct? You used college as an avenue.
Because this is why this podcast is alive, because I didn't know better.
But you also used your soccer skills to in a sense have college help you with a secondary long-term goal. You can't be pro forever. So the fact that you used your God-given talent, soccer, and then that was paid through, because you were such a good athlete, you got your school paid for.
Correct.
That you also came away with an education. But how the heck, when you went in, how do you even know what to go in for?
Correct. And those are struggles that you get as an athlete, that your identity is a sport that you play.
Yeah.
And it really affects people's lives. And we shouldn't be judged by what we do every single day.
But you are.
But we are. And then now, if I walk around, people say, "Oh, he was a soccer player," right? And then now we go into your realm. So I finished school. I did my 4 years. I did my soccer thing. And
He did get picked up by a professional sports
then
team.
I played in
pro
Kansas City.
soccer
Yes, I did
for
get
several years.
I became a professional, and that was all awesome. But then there was that, what do you do afterwards?
Yeah.
Okay, that I put myself in a situation of not making money until you're 25, 26, 27. And now we're going to your story, that you started working at a cleaning company first, carpet cleaning company, before
Yeah.
restoration.
School was not in my
vocabulary?
I don't want to say it wasn't in my future. I really wanted to go. I played a lot of baseball. Like I really thought like, oh man, I can go to college and play baseball, and then who knows where that'll take me.
Yep.
But it was the actual like schooling part and the focusing, getting those things done. Like that was hard for me.
Yep.
So I ended up getting married young. I got out of high school, got married the next year, and I had my dad that was just one of the hardest workers I've ever seen in my life. And
that has a business.
Yeah, he owned
Christian Brothers.
Christian Brothers carpet and upholstery cleaning at the time, and came into work with him. It was myself, my dad, Patty, and Victor. And my dad's like, you can come work for me as Victor's helper. Like I'm not pushing Victor out of the way. You start at the bottom. You work your way up. In the meantime, I was a janitor. I worked for the city. I was a hydroceramics and maintenance engineer, specialized in porcelain and stainless steel. I was a janitor.
Which is fine too.
But I love the job.
But that's
cool
not
job.
a bad, I mean, I think we take that for granted, thinking that these different jobs are like whatever, but it pays bills. They're able to do certain things with their family.
Well, I saw my dad growing up, and I was just like, man, I could have sworn to you, I still will swear to you to this day, we had the greatest lifestyle in the world. We played baseball, kind of started playing soccer like in like the later years. He was a coach to myself and my two younger brothers. We surfed every weekend. Yeah. Anytime we could surf, like life revolved around church and surfing. Right? If my dad wasn't at work, busting his butt, we were surfing or we were doing something with a junior high group or church or high school group or something like that. Super involved with our local church. And yeah, man, I just thought like, wow, what a life to live.
Yep.
I thought we had it all. And I to this day, I still will say like, man, we had one of the best lifestyles as a child. Just playing at the beach, going surfing, mom taking us to the beach, going to Mexico all the time. Yeah, it was super, super cool. So going into work for my dad, I was thinking, I want that lifestyle so bad. Like, what if I can do it? Never in my wildest dreams ever did I think Christian Brothers would have turned itself into what it is today. But that's strictly just due to my dad just pushing, yeah. Making his team members, myself, our other coworkers, just want to do a little better and a little better, through hard work and through just kind of like partnering and getting stuff from other people.
Yeah. And before we even go further, one cool aspect of what your dad did that we take for granted is him telling you that you're not going to be ahead of anybody else. To start from the bottom. And there's always it's always challenging because we always want to get to the top and make X amount of dollars, but not work and take the vacation whenever you feel like it. But during that time of climbing up the ladder, there's always steps there that you're going to learn something new. That it might not be for the business, but it could be for your family. Yeah. But it could be the relationship that we're talking about, why we're doing these podcasts, to help other younger families coming up or older ones that are trying to figure out how are you networking. And bringing that up with the networking part is everything is on podcasts anymore. And I asked, one of the questions I gave was, do we still do B&I? Do we still do marketing? And that's going to be another segment. But I'm noticing that podcast is going to generate more connections to more people that will just type in search, I want to listen to entrepreneurs, new business owners, old business owners, restoration owners, whatever I do, all the different things that I do.
Yeah.
So that's awesome for that part. But the past, how did we get connected? And I'll just do it real quick. I met my wife in Tennessee playing a sport there. And she happens to know you guys since you guys were 3, 4, 5 years old.
I mean, she's the closest thing to a sister.
It's a sister. You had two brothers.
She's the sister I never wanted, but I have, whether I like it or not.
Yeah. And then your wife was best friends with her.
Yes.
So that's how we got connected. So it's a big history.
Do you remember the first time I met you? Out at Ross's Lake House and
that's the first
that water ski lake. Cassie brought you out. Yeah. You were here for a break. You were in between.
Yeah, playing.
That was the first time I remember meeting you.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, can I bring my boyfriend out?" Oh, shoot. Sorry, Mike. You didn't spend the night. He
took
slept
me
in a
out
tent, in another tent.
in the
But
car.
yeah, you came out to Ross's
I
lake
remember
house,
that,
Imperial Lakes.
but I didn't know that was the first time.
Yeah, we did a little fishing out there.
Yeah, it was good. So yeah, so that's how we got connected there, and yeah, it's been a cool journey.
Yeah, you'd come soccer, like when you would play your school soccer, and then you would play with like a club or a travel team, I'm assuming, in between seasons. You'd have 2 to 3 weeks, and you'd come.
Semi-pro team.
Yeah, you'd come here. You'd hang out for a couple weeks, visit Cassie with her family, then you'd go back. And then, did you guys get married in college? Were you in college when you got married?
No, I graduated.
Oh, you were out of college.
Yeah,
okay.
I graduated. So we got married after we graduated, and I started playing with Kansas City. So that's what happened.
And then, did Cassie live in Kansas City
with you? She lived in Kansas City, yeah.
Okay. So then probably when you guys would come back for the holidays and stuff.
Yeah, we moved around. Yeah. But during all that time, I was doing that part, and you were building your career.
Just cleaning carpet, baby.
Yes, just cleaning carpet. Pee stains and poop stains from dogs.
I was a master upholstery textile extraordinaire.
And that's funny because I'm just trying to start my career. Yeah. But you already had maybe 4 years. Because you're a little bit older than me, but still.
Yeah, but the hard part too is I think people forget that you're right. Like, I had let's call it a 4 to 6 year jump start on my work career because I didn't go to college. You went to college for what, 4 or 5 years?
No, 4 years.
4 years? Ooh, you did.
Come on. Not that bad.
And then you had your professional career, which was how long?
We did that for about 4 or 5 years.
So you got 9 years where I was able to. So yeah, I think people forget that sometimes. They see people that are the same age or a similar age, and they're like, well, man, I don't get it. Like, why? And it's like, well, in a sense, I took that blue collar route and I got 9 years of education in doing the job.
But not just education, paid education.
Yeah, my dad paid. I mean, yeah, I got paid every week to work, or every other week.
And that's where we're trying to get to. That I'm seeing it as, what is your child gonna do, and how long is it gonna take for them to get to where they want to get to? Because some people get out of school and they can earn 6 figures, but they owe 7 figures. So you never had that. Obviously, I didn't have that because I got a scholarship.
Yes.
So I can't relate too much with that. But I know a lot of people that they have 6-figure loans.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the profession that they chose isn't what they're going to do.
Yeah.
And that money. So it's pretty interesting seeing that part. But that's part of the podcast of just bringing in people that we're going to start bringing in people and talk to them and see how their path started. And everybody has some pretty wild stories.
Yeah. So, I mean, like one of the things that me and you talked about going over is like, we're not just going to do this for 6 to 8 weeks. You know, we got 52 episodes in our bag.
Our goal is to do 52 starting today.
So how is it working with family? How is it working with friends? How's it going to college, not going to college?
Yep.
What's the work environment? How has the professional sports environment played such an impact on you today, right? And like, get with other businesses. What are they struggling with? Just let's talk to real people that have real problems.
Yeah, that have, I wouldn't even say real problems. I would say everyday challenges. They do this every single day, and they're going to go through it every single day. And we think we're the only ones as entrepreneurs that, oh, this never happens to that person. Look how successful they are.
Well, I think that's I almost want to say that's a male ego thing. It's like, Nelson, how often do I call you? And they're like, hey, Nelson, can I share with you my problems today?
Yeah.
Like, dude, we don't do that. Like, as guys, why? Because we think that we're too good, or we're like, I want to share with you.
Well, maybe not taught. Maybe nobody's taught you to do that.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm very private. I'm not very, I just keep things to myself.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's good or bad.
You fit in the bucket with 90% of men.
Yeah,
they don't want to share their problems. Yeah. We would rather suffer in silence than grow together.
Correct.
Which is like the stupidest thing in the world, if you think about it.
Yeah, so, and now that I'm doing so many different things, I'm noticing the fastest way to get somewhere is to get the most advice you can and ask for help.
Well, I was just looking this up because I wanted to quote this, and I'm probably going to mess it up, but I mean, you have Zig Ziglar, right? Super powerful guy. You know, if you help enough people in life, then you in turn will be helped as well.
Yep.
So if we can kind of do that through here and share, and maybe someone listens to one episode out of 52 and they take one thing away.
Connected to, yeah.
Like, dude, how sick would that be?
Yeah.
Super cool.
That would be the goal overall with the podcast. So like you said, just to go over everything, we want to share our stories. We want to hear other people's stories. We want to not do this for 5-6 episodes. Yeah. Like everybody said, oh, I did a podcast and I'm done with it. We also do want to see results.
Yeah.
We want to say, oh, people call us because they heard of us. Not just, we're just doing it. We are focusing more of the San Diego County or Southern California just because of the type of business that you're in, type of business that I'm in, but it doesn't mean that we can't branch out either.
Yeah.
You know, so that will be, for all the listeners, that will be the ultimate goal that we're going to do for this podcast, for the first episode, nothing too crazy. And we're just going to kind of build off that.
That's good.
All right. Is that a good start there? Let's see that.
Timer.
So that was 21 minutes.
Let's go to that first section. Let me interview you. Let me go through these 5 questions.
Okay.
I'm
going to put another timer on. Oops.
You're still filming, Luke? Yeah. So one of the things that I think we really should do is, and I don't know if I do think we need to say this every time. We need to go over the intro every time because we need to have some consistency, but then we need to then highlight what are we talking about today.
Yes.
Right?
So what like I was telling them, what I've been noticing the most podcasters will do, they won't go through their tagline yet. They'll do a recap.
Oh, of last week?
Yeah.
Well, we don't have a last week. This is our week. This is our
I know,
week
but
one.
we'll have to.
Yeah,
we'll have to do the recap right now.
Yeah.
So okay.
So if we were to start off
let's
right
do
now.
it right now. The
Okay.
recap is going to be, okay, guys. This is our first, or everybody. That was our first episode. What was 1 or 2 things that you got out of our first episode that we talked about? Okay.
Friendship.
Friendship.
Right?
Awesome.
Like, how cool is it that? I mean, we didn't really say how many years, but man, we've probably been friends for 15 plus years, 15 to 20 years.
From a different side of the country,
right.
World.
Connected through a mutual friend, which is now your wife, my wife and your wife. So just kind of like going back and thinking, man, I hope we don't take certain friendships for granted because you never know where a friendship's going to lead. It could be short. It could be a long-lasting friendship like this. And now our kids are growing up and our kids are becoming friends.
That's the cool part.
Right?
That they every time we take them to the beach, they hang out with each other.
But where did that all start? With your father-in-law and my father, with Mike and Mark, became friends.
40 plus years ago?
Mike's daughter, Cassie, and my wife, she wasn't my wife then, became friends. And just how that friendship and that community's bonded. So that'd be my takeaway from that is like, don't take your friends for granted.
Yeah, that's an awesome takeaway. For me, I would say just the couple of things that us individuals that we're trying to really grow and give to the podcast and just experience with family, but also mainly the entrepreneur side, that you're going to start getting more podcasts in certain scenarios of what do we physically do? You're more detailed on one project, but on the outside, you have another project, which is a fun project that you like doing, right in around spending money on gas. But we'll talk about that one down the road, and that could be a special podcast, what you do. And then on my side, hopefully I can give input of all the crazy things that I've done and things that do well and not do well. But that's a recap on my end that I just wanted to bring that, besides friendship, but what we want to offer to everybody that's listening.
Awesome.
So that's our first podcast. So you're going to have to cut that one. And then we got to do the tagline. So I'll do my tagline first, and then you'll come in with Gabe.
So when you're done with your name, and then I'll say, and I'm Gabe Matthews.
So maybe I should just
you're going to say,
I'm Nelson Pizarro, your IBC strategist.
No, we're going to say welcome to legacy. Read
Yeah,
this
yeah.
whole thing.
No. I'm going to do all that.
Yes.
But you're going to come in one after I say generational wealth.
And then I'm Gabe Matthews.
Yes.
Do that. And then you want me to just finish reading out the rest?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. All right, ready? So this will be the tagline. But if you keep this one, we don't have to redo it. If this one's good, then you just copy and paste every single episode and put music on there and you're done with it.
So but I still think when we go, and the systems, they actually work. And today we're going to be talking about X.
Well, that we can add afterwards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think we should it's going to be a little different. Hey, I'm Nelson Mazzaro, I'm your IBS strategist.
I think it should be consistent with us. Yeah,
right.
don't even, because then we can just come in. Oh, no, then we'll just come in and we'll say, hey, what are we talking about today?
No, we need to talk about compromise because I want to do one thing and you want to do one thing.
Yeah, oh, that's one
that's
episode.
Gonna be a whole nother episode.
That's about
we're
10
gonna have to
hours.
Splice this.
Yeah, that was 10 hours.
Hey, Luke, tag mark this clip.
All
Compromise.
Compromise. Hashtag. All right, here we go. Welcome to Legacy and Grit, where finance meets the front lines. I'm Nelson Pizarro, your IBC strategist, showing you how to take control of your money and build generational wealth.
I'm Gabe Matthews, boots on the ground emergency service specialist, helping families recover during emergency disasters. Together, we're going to dive in some real stories, raw business struggles, entrepreneurial wins from San Diego County and beyond. Whether you're in the boardroom or on the job site, this podcast brings you strategies, stories, and systems that actually work.
Let's do this.
Again, remember, can't forget our man behind the
Oh, I forgot about Uncle
man
Luke.
behind the mic, our chief engineer,
Executive producer.
executive producer, Luke Matthews. Luke,
What's it? What? Okay, we gotta
Give
give
us a
a shout out.
hey, bud.
What's up?
All right.
All right. Well, that was weird.
Well, what's his company name?
Luke Films.
Luke Films. Okay, so we gotta always plug that in.
Instagram, Luke Films.
All right.
There we go. Look
He's-
him up online. Help the little boy grow his business. He's a senior in high school, building something special.
Hey, not going to. Oh,
No,
we
he's
don't
still
know
going
if
to
he's going. Oh, he's going to school. Okay, he's going to school then.
He's not going to college, that's
He's
for
not.
sure.
Oh, maybe he might go to college.
I don't know.
Let's see. All right.
All right. Nelson, what are we going over today?
So today, actually, you're going to interview me a little bit, and we're going to talk about what IBC is.
Awesome.
So
So am I interviewing you or are you going to start talking?
I'm gonna ask
I'm
you
the
questions
interviewer.
too,
No?
as well. Yes. So you can start off. Go ahead. Interview me.
All right. Nelson.
Oh, are we doing the IBC or I have
Yep.
other things? Okay, go
No,
ahead.
first of all, IBC 101. Nelson, can you please explain to me what does IBC stand for?
Okay, IBC is Infinite Banking Concept. It basically is a concept where we're putting money into a vehicle so you can have tax-free growth. You can borrow whenever you want. You have a fixed interest rate. You can use that money in two different places while still getting uninterrupted compounding interest. So overall, IBC, that's a concept, a strategy that I help put in place for families and business owners.
Speaking of, infinite banking concept, right? So when was that aha moment when you're like, oh, I should get involved with this infinite banking concepts?
Yeah, so it's going to be a little bit longer story. So how all this happened was in 2018, I started reading a book. Well, I started listening to podcasts, just like we're doing right now. And as you know, it just exploded, the podcast world after COVID. So I started reading books and listening to podcasts here and there, and I try to figure out where do wealthy people put money and where should I put my money? So as of that time, I had money into IRAs and 401ks, just like everybody else told us. Just put your money in there, let it sit there, and then when you're 65, 70, you pull it out. But always in the back of my head, since I'm more of an entrepreneur, and what an entrepreneur is basically, you're just going out there and taking risk, but an educated risk. Can I sell this product? And how much can I sell for? And can I make money out of it? So I was always thinking, well, what can I place money into? So a lot of people say real estate. And then you get into that one situation of, I don't have that much money to start with the real estate. So that means I got to go through a bank. But then the banks hold you hostage because they can do whatever they want, right? So I'm going back and forth talking to people that I trust about this concept that I didn't really know about. And I read a book called What Would the Rockefellers Do? And now I believe they changed it. What would the wealthy people do? In that book, they said something about putting money into policies. And I couldn't understand that. I said, what do you mean policies? And I kept on talking to people. And I talked to one of my mentors and I said, hey, what do you think about this? And he said, that's a scam. Straight up. Nothing else. It's a scam. Don't do it. And I said, well, have you ever tried it? He's like, yes, I actually have one. And what you're telling me, I can't do. And I said, well, this doesn't make any sense. How are these people doing this?
Yeah.
So I started learning probably for the next 3 years until 2020-ish. I started saying, well, let me research and talk to more people, read more books, and really dive into it. And that's how I am. And that's how this actually, most people do this IBC. They don't take the word from somebody and just say, hey, I'm just going to do it. They do so much research that they run into a rabbit hole and eventually they give up on it and they say, oh, forget it. I'm just going to put my money in a 401k and IRA. I don't want to think too hard. So all this happened during COVID time and I started learning and understanding, and I ended up getting into an aha moment when I figured out that I did buy a policy 2021. I buy this policy and the first time I took out a loan was to buy braces for one of our daughters. When I took out the loan, they never asked me what it was for. I just borrowed the money. I actually saved money because I told the orthodontist, if I pay you in cash, what happens? He was going to charge me 3% because I was going to put it on the credit card. Yep. But since I put it on I paid him in cash, he gave me 10% off. And then all that time that I did that, if I fast forward a year from that time, that moment, I actually made a little bit of dividends. So I gave up money to get braces for my daughter, but also I made dividends on the other side, even though the money was completely in two separate areas. And that same dollar caused me to get dividends. And that was my aha moment. And I said, oh my gosh, this really works.
So in a sense, what I'm hearing you say is you didn't have much money when you started this.
Correct.
So
well, I did have money, but what do you consider much money?
Much money is different to everyone.
Exactly. What will you say?
Some people might say
$10,000, $100,000.
I only have an extra $100 a month, and some people might say I have an extra $100,000 a month.
Yep.
Right, and I think that's an illusion. Is I can't start yet because I don't make enough money. And then I think as you were explaining that to me when you had me read some of those books, it was like, well, you're never going to be there, right? You're never ready to do this because of this. You're never ready to start this because of that.
Excuses.
You just got to start somewhere.
And that's so, not only with that, but entrepreneur.
So you're telling
business.
Me you were reading a book about the Rockefellers, Walt Disney, the Waltons, all these super
Vanderbilt at the time.
The super wealthy, high-end people. They had to start somewhere as well. So you started this, and the first thing you used it for was a household item, or that's not a household item.
A personal
braces for your daughter.
Now, do we need braces? No, it's just more cosmetic.
Yeah.
Right? But we want to give that to my kid, and that's what we decided to do.
Yeah.
Right? So yes, that's exactly. I think when you hear IBC, everybody jumps from 0 to 1 million and not realizing that you have to go through baby steps.
Yeah.
Just like a business. And most businesses, as you know, since you took over this business from your dad, you bought him off, it didn't happen the first 5, 6, 10 years. It took a long period to get to that point.
Yeah.
And if our mindset is trained that way, it's going to help. What happened with the whole IRAs and 401ks was they're training us that at this moment we're going to get this amount of money, but in 40 years. But what happens if it doesn't? And you can't go backwards and work even more. You're stuck. Whatever money you started off with, let's just say 100,000, and it moved up to $400,000, inflation gets in there, tax gets in there.
Well, what do you think? What do you think the most common misconception is for the infinite baking concept / strategy, and how do we address those?
So I would say one, like we just said, time. They think that it's like a magic wand that's going to appear, and you're just going to say, okay, if I put money here, I'm going to be ultra wealthy. That doesn't happen that way. It never is. There's never free money. And if there's free money, some other lever is going to come on this side that's going to cause us to pay more money on the other angle. So that'll be one time. The other is you can't do this in policies. And one of the biggest reasons why we hear this so often is because most people that sell life insurance policies, they mainly sell financial products. So they understand the financial side, and they just having this on their toolbox of, hey, I can sell you a life insurance policy, just put it over here, but really I want your cash and I want to deploy it into the stock market so I can get this percentage all the time. So those two things I will say will be the biggest challenges that I face. And it's very interesting when we're talking about how much money, the families and individuals that talk to me and I try to build business with, and they're confused of putting $5,000 into a policy or $10,000, it takes me months to do this. But then when I speak to somebody that says, okay, I want to start one with $100,000, $200,000 per year, it's literally how fast can they do it?
Yeah.
I can't do it any faster because the underwriting. But it's very interesting. Somebody has $100,000, they'll just dump in the money here and they see the benefits, while somebody has $5,000, $10,000, and they're scared of putting the money because that's all they have. And back in the day, fun facts, before the 50s, almost everybody in America had about, they say around 20 to 30%, their savings was into whole life policies. And it's very specific, whole life policies. There's not universal, it's not index, it's not variable, and it's not term. It's very specific. It's a whole life paid dividend policy, mutual paid dividend policy. So, anything else?
No, I mean, I just looked up a quick little quote here because you made a comment about time, right? Mm-hmm. It says, wealth that comes quickly usually disappears just as fast. The road to lasting success is paved with patience, discipline, and then it's underlined 3 times, and hard work.
Yeah, there's nothing free.
But you got to start. You got to start somewhere, right? I mean, I think that's the biggest concept is you got to start somewhere. How does IBS fit into the average family or entrepreneur's financial strategy?
IBC.
IBC. I want to say infinite baking strategy. You're saying concept.
Concept.
Okay. How does the IBC fit into just your average family? Average run-of-the-mill family, or someone that's been in business for a little bit of time and they got a couple extra bucks. How does that work?
Yeah, a great question. Everything is about time because we can't create time. And then our time is so valuable and we try to put a number on it, but one day our time is done. So what happens there? So there's a couple of strategies that I like to take in place, and that's why I created this company called Wealth for Legacy, because 95% of the third generation will lose all the money that first generation created. And if you think about that, that's basically maybe between 100 years. And you can make $1 million and you pass it down, and by the third generation, they have zero and they got to start over. So how can we work with them?
Why do you think that happens?
Education. We're not known to teach our kids how to work with money. We're known to give them money. We're known to swipe our credit card, now our generation, or crypto or whatever, or our phone, Apple Pay. So they don't feel that back before, when we were younger, we'll use cash. So you can feel, hey, our candy is 50 cents and you gave them $1 and you get 50 cents. You're like, oh, I'm half of what I had, but I can buy another candy. But how do we create more of this?
Yeah.
And a lot of families don't teach that. right? And how do you teach that when we go to school and we learn about doing trades, but we don't learn about taxes? We don't learn about putting money into a credit card to gain points, but make sure you have that money to pay off the credit card. We just think that's a free-for-all and you just go buy whatever. So within this IBC strategy, we're building something that we teach kids at a younger age, but also the parents have to understand what they're doing. So that was a cool, when I'm doing this, it's always fun seeing the beginning, like they're unsure of this. And then after a couple of years, they're like, okay, how do I do more of this? Because they want to build pool. You're basically building a pool of banks.
Yeah.
And that's it. Because at the end of the day, we finance either through a bank or we finance through ourselves or a family member. But there's no other pool of money. We have to go somewhere to tap into this money. So one of the strategies that we use is I'll sit down with the family and I just say, okay, what are we trying to do? And most people will say, I have debt in either college, from college debt, I have debt in a car, I have a mortgage debt, or a credit card debt. There's really not much after that.
Well, give me an example of like, so you're kind of saying this, car, credit card debt, mortgage. Without using names, can you give me like a real life example of how someone has come to you and they've been either confused or they didn't know about the situation, what's going on? Tell me a story as much as possible without using someone's name.
Yeah, and that's really easy. So I can even use myself. That's pretty basic, and then I'll use a business side of it.
Yeah.
All right. So for ourselves, like I said, the first policy we purchased was $30,000. It was just on myself. We didn't really know what to do with it, and this was before I even was. I created the business. I buy this policy. I told my wife, "Hey, we're gonna try this and see what happens."
Yeah.
So it's a guaranteed death benefit. And there's other things that we want to explain, but I'm just going to go straight to detail. We needed to buy a car. We had $30,000 in our savings account, and I just said, hey, let's just put this into a policy.
What kind of car were you buying?
It doesn't matter.
Oh, I like cars.
Okay, Expedition.
Okay.
Okay, a Ford Expedition.
Yeah. Good car.
Good car,
Shout out
bigger
to Ford.
car. If I shout out, maybe we can drive some free Fords. So a good car, a big car, and it's either I take that cash, and the car was worth $20,000. It's a used car. Do I agree with used cars? It's up to everybody else. I don't really care. I like new cars, but I know I'm going to use them for 10, 20 years because we drive a lot, 15 years because we drive a lot, and I'm going to run it to the ground. So we got this car, and I said, okay, if I use cash, it was in a CDs account making 1% to 2%, but it was locked up for 6 months.
Yeah.
So then I got stuck saying, well, if I take out the money, then I get penalized and I don't make that 2%, 3%, whatever they're giving me, but yet I can't have the car. So I decided to move that money into a policy. I took out 20 grand from the policy. I bought the car directly. Now I have a car, but the biggest thing that families don't understand is that when you use money from your cash, you don't think to yourself to pay yourself back in the savings account. You'll just say, whenever money shows up, I'm just gonna put it into my piggy bank and hopefully I get to that 20,000 mark again. It can take me 10 years, it can take me 2 months, whatever that number is, but you're never gonna say, I'm gonna pay X amount of dollars. But for some reason, we get money from a bank and they give us a note and they're gonna say, you have to pay $300 a month with interest.
As your car payment.
As a
you're
car
saying
payment.
You go to a dealer or somewhere and you're saying, I'm gonna go buy a new car.
Correct.
Or a used car, and I'm gonna spend $20,000. You go to that dealer and your goal is to put as little to no money down.
Correct.
Usually. Because like, why give them money? They're gonna give you a car at 6, 7, 8% interest. And then you're gonna make that $500, $600, $700 a month payment.
Correct. So those are 2 options.
Yeah.
But for some reason, we're forgetting that our savings account is technically a bank for us. But we don't treat it like a bank. All we do is we hope we get a raise, we hope we get a bonus, We hope we sell a little bit more of my side hustle, and then we'll replenish that bucket, right? But if it was a bank, you for sure got to pay it, because what happens if you don't pay it? They come after you, or they'll take the car and they take the money.
Yeah. Well, real quick, when you say my side hustle, you mean, right?
What kind of side hustle do we have?
You have a wine and a coffee shop.
Okay, so for some reason we do so many side hustles.
Right.
I think our generation and where we live at. So we're in San Diego.
Hold up. The camera's about to die.
What?
Luke, we're flowing. We're flowing.
Can you plug it in? All right. So side hustle. We live in San Diego.
Are we coming back from our commercial break?
Oh, commercial break. So a side note, cameras all ran out of battery.
Camera died, TV died. We switched, put a logo up.
So you can't see this if you're listening to it, but
Oh,
yeah, we literally sat here for an hour.
professionalism 101.
But this is how you start podcast. So we got to go back to our side hustle. I don't even remember what question you had for me.
You were saying something along the lines of, we're doing this, and I said sometimes people don't always have enough money to start. Like, when is
yes,
this
that's
enough?
right.
And you're like,
Yeah.
well, I was doing this thing on the side. I was kind of trying to give you like an indiscreet commercial for
Plug-in, yeah, plug-in for my ad.
for the Pizarro Castelli Family Vineyard. Notice I threw your name out there first.
Yeah, that's a good one, yeah. So the reason why we come up with that side hustle is because a lot of times, or at least here in San Diego, we feel a different type of pressure of making money. It's sunny every single day. It's easier to work outdoors if we need to, so you can do all these side jobs of washing cars, pressure washing, window cleaning, all these crazy things, and you can still go work in an office.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, like, you work with families and they're always do one profession and then they have something on the side. And I bring that up because the IBC and the person that came up with the concept, which his name is Nelson Nash, he says that you have to be in two businesses. The one that you currently do for yourself, restoration, water damage, mold, fire, and the banking business. And most people think about the banking business as what does that mean? And that's what I'm gonna incorporate the car side of it.
Well, it's scary because you go to, you said that to me, and like right off the bat, it's just like,
What does that mean?
it just goes over my head, and I'm just like, oh man, I'm not there yet. I got to focus on this. I got my business. I got my kids. I got my hobbies, and then like now you want me to like do extra. So
Learn and educate yourself.
from a user standpoint, as a client of yours, right? I mean, you kind of strong-armed me in. No, I'm joking, right? Like, you talked to me about this for a couple years. You gave me some books. You said, read this, read that. Educate yourself on why you need this. So kind of explain that a little bit to me of like, go into that thing of why we shouldn't get scared to do this.
Yeah, that's a great question. And you said it perfectly.
I know.
I gave you
I know
this.
I did.
I know, you're so smart. I gave you this vehicle, and you physically had it in place. You didn't know how to use it. I'm giving a tool that you never knew how to use,
Yeah.
and nobody else explained it to you. But also, you needed so much education, right? For you to feel a sense of, okay, I understand a little bit more than I did.
Yes.
But, and I'm not throwing digs at financial advisors because I'll be considered one, except I didn't do all the courses for them. I just do life insurance. But all we do is we give money to somebody that says they're going to take care of our money. And they're going to say they're going to put it in a low, high, or medium risk because of your age.
Yep.
But yet, we don't go look at the stocks that they put the money into.
Well, yeah, because as a user, that's not my job. I'm paying you to hopefully
Yes.
do this concept of IRA, of
401ks.
some sort of an
Pensions.
investment, something.
Yep.
I started very, very young, so I have the set it and forget it mode. I set it up, it comes out of my paycheck, and I'm gonna check on it when I'm 65.
Correct. Yeah. So, and that's where we get to, that they don't give us information to learn what they're doing, but yet when I give you so much information, you don't want to take it because it's just too much work.
Well, I don't know if it's too much work. It's just I don't understand that language.
Okay.
I know my business, my family, my hobbies. Now you want to throw in a third language or a fourth language, and I think out of fear, the user, choose to not do it because I think it's going to be hard.
Yep, I can see that. It is a bit challenging, but then we go back to the biggest word that I like to bring up is control.
Yeah.
No matter what you do, and that's what we were talking about the car situation, no matter what we do, we're always going to finance something.
Yes.
It's either we finance from our savings account or we finance from a bank. And that part right there, that little transition between the bank and the savings account, we put the policies in there. And once we do that, now we have the control of paying back when we want to, because it's an unstructured loan. We have the control of getting dividends coming in. We have the control of every time we put money into this policy, our bucket actually starts going up, similar to a mortgage. That would be the closest thing, similar to a mortgage, because every time you put money into your house, your mortgage, what you owe goes down, but then that house value goes up, right?
Yeah.
The difference is the only way to take that money out is to refi, HELOC, or you sell the house. And then once you sell the house, you lose that asset that you had, and then you possibly will get into a tax situation. Or you obviously you can turn it over within 60 days, but that's something different. So overall, explaining this to a customer, we started with you as a family side, but then I found out other needs that you needed.
Yes.
And that was connected to the business with Christian Brothers. You know you need X amount of dollars per month. And you understood the concept of it isn't going to happen right away. And that's where a lot of people want things to happen instantly. And we're in the world of Amazon. That's instant gratification.
Everything is instant gratification, right?
Yep.
I want it now. What's that lady? What's the
Willy Wonka.
I want it now, ready, right? It's like
concept like this.
And I think anything that happens fast, like you said earlier, was like anything that happens fast can be lost fast.
Correct.
So for me as like a customer, like you really showing me the patience and the long term. And I guess one of the things that like really bums me out is like I was paying into this other life insurance, and
we won't just say the name of the company.
And I get it because I needed security for I purchased that for security. And then I had two different policies. I had a policy where I just paid for life insurance. I had one on me where I was going to get the money back, but I wasn't going to get any interest. I'm just going to get the money back, but it's expensive. And then I had another policy on my wife where I pay for it for 30 years, and then when it's gone, it's gone.
Okay. So that one's called term.
Right.
So
and then
let me break that down since you brought
life.
that up. Yep.
Yeah.
I'll break that down. Whole life, we'll do term. Term is usually a 10, 15, 20 year.
Yeah, so I had a 20-year policy on my wife for X amount of dollars.
Correct.
And I was going to pay for that, and when the 20 years is done, the policy's done. I no longer pay, but I no longer get anything.
Correct.
So I am paying for a what if. If my wife passes away, then I have that assurity of getting money for that.
Correct. And term, you can consider term similar to apartments. You rent an apartment, you pay money every month, and then once you leave that apartment, you don't get anything back.
Correct.
So that's how you'll consider a term compared to a apartment. So that's an easy way for people to understand that. Now there is a place for term in this whole structure and concept, which we have you in place. And then the whole life is more like a mortgage.
Well, that's what I had on myself.
Correct.
So Janelle, I had a policy, term. Myself, I had whole life.
Correct.
Which I'm paying, it was more expensive, but then I was also gonna get the money back when I was done.
Correct.
Not all of it, but a big chunk of it.
Yeah.
So the hard part in there is like where it kind of opened my eyes when you were explaining this to me is, well, when you pay money every year, every month, why be able to use that money.
Correct.
So that's where the infinite banking concept, in a sense, comes into play.
It's infinite.
Why am I going to give someone else money
Control.
and the
Interest.
control of that money when in a
interest.
sense, I can control that is up to a certain extent.
But again, it takes time.
Well, yes, because I've only been doing this for 2 years,
Going on the second year.
right? So, oh man, what if I would have done it 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago?
And what does everybody always say to me?
Oh, I wish you would have told me this
Yes.
sooner,
And
Nelson.
let's just say it's not even with the whole life and infinite banking. With everything else, oh, if I knew this in business, if I knew this in school, if I knew this with my family,
Wish I would have invested in Starbucks. back
yeah,
when I only
and
had one
Google
shop.
and Amazon, and yeah, it would have been and Bitcoin.
Yeah,
right?
so for me, I think the thing when I was talking earlier, like just, oh man, this just went straight over my head, is like really dumbing it down to, Gabe, you're already paying for life insurance. Don't stop paying.
Correct.
How much can you afford? I can afford X. Cool, let's start a policy with that. And then I can either do one of two things. I can fund the policy, and then a couple of weeks later, take the money out, take my available funds out, use it to go pay off. You used it for braces. I used it to pay off some off-road toys, right? We have a race team, and I paid off some of our vehicles. And then I pay it back monthly as if I was paying on those vehicles to refund that
Exactly.
policy.
With interest.
But I'm paying myself back the interest.
In a way, yes.
So instead of, banks get rich for a reason.
Well, banks, believe it or not, banks, you can see how wealthy they are based on where they're at in real estate. So when you're driving downtown, they probably have the biggest building. When you drive to a little town, they probably have buildings on the corner of the most popular street. They don't do that just because. They do that because the only way they can become a bank is if you and I put cash into their account, their bank, for them to turn around and let us borrow our own money back.
At a medium to high interest.
And you don't know what it is because it could be a regular car loan, which you're going to say, well, it's not too bad. It's 4%, 5%. You're like, oh, that's not too bad. But then if I want a business loan, it can be 12, 15. If it's a credit card loan, 20, 30. And that's, imagine, and also one thing that a lot of people don't know, there's a term called fractional reserve, which means that for $1 that a bank has, they can create $9 extra. So if my dollar can create $9 extra and each one has 5%, technically I'm making 45, 50% on a dollar that never create, there's no dollar there.
Yeah, that's my dollar.
That's the dollar that I put in there. Yeah. So instead of letting them do that, I'm able to bring it in, hone it into ourselves, and build off that. But a lot of people can't. The example of the trees, you can't see through the forest, because everything's crowded. But you want to get to the other side. You know you want to get there. But how do you get through there? You just go slowly. And you figure out ways to get there.
Little by little.
Little by little, and you just walk through them, and you're like, okay, I learned this, I do that, and you're figuring out ways to do it. So that's basically the patience of it, and the patience for me, it takes me between 6 to 12 months to get a true customer.
Yep.
No matter how good I can explain it, they always will go to, let me talk to my Uncle Bob. He literally has nothing to do with money. He gets a W-2, and he tells you to go invest money into the stock market, and he's still living day to day, paycheck to paycheck.
Or in my concept, I go to my initial agent and I say, hey, I'm going to do this. And they're like, oh, that's stupid. You can't use your own money.
No.
And I'm like,
why would
why?
you pay yourself back?
It's my money.
Yeah.
If I'm paying it, why can't I use it? Especially if I'm going to pay it back. Oh, well, it's going to be hard. It's annoying. And like, what are you going to use it for? Where when I did it with you, I mean, it took me a while to research and to go through the stuff, and then I did it. And then a few months later, hey Gabe, why don't you use some of this money? It's yours.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's practice it.
And just it was so easy, We did
And
a
now
couple
you
pieces of
haven't
paper,
stopped.
And I use it, I pay it back. I use it, I pay it back. Now I'm trying to implement it into my business where I can, in a sense, I'm going to borrow money from myself instead of go do a big project and put money on a line of credit, or go, I need to buy a couple of these vehicles and go get a loan from the dealer.
Correct.
Where I can go do it that way and help control those finances.
And now you're looking at the infinite. That's what they talk about, infinite. And it's not that the insurance agents or whoever sells these products. What I would recommend is always finding where I actually got a education. I'm a IBC practitioner, which means that I did pay for a service that they taught me and educated me. But the cool part that I learned from there was it wasn't just insurance. They taught me about where money came from, why money is doing this, and why is there inflation.
Yeah.
And when we start understanding all these simple concepts, that it just goes over our head because I'm doing this as a profession, most people don't have that time. So how can I educate them quicker? And by books, one great book and a simple book is Becoming Your Own Banker, which you read, or you can listen to, 80 plus pages, a couple of diagrams, real easy book to read, but it goes over your head.
Yeah.
Because you just say, I have no clue how this is impossible.
Yeah, but at least you get like terms, and when you were talking to me, I was like, oh, okay, I get that. And then I went and read it again. And then I talked to my dad about it. You know, my dad's just like super I don't want to say he's skeptical, but it was like he's pretty smart with finances, like really, really smart. And asking him those questions, he's like, oh yeah, I can see how that could work. I can see how that could work. But yeah, maybe doing your homework and just making sure that you're doing your research. But hey, we can talk about this all day long, right? Till we're blue in the face. If I want to learn more about the infinite banking concept, what's ways that I can find out or get a hold of you or do a little bit of research on my own?
Yeah, the best way would be go to my website or text me or call me.
Your website is?
Wealth4legacy.com.
The number 4?
FOR.
Wealth4legacy.com. WELTHFORLEGACY.com.
Correct. And then also my email address is nelson@banking with ING for FOR legacy.com.
Nelson@bankingforlegacy.com.
And cell phone is 619-997-5141.
Ooh, I'm gonna prank call you.
So yeah, prank call me. So that'll be the best bet to get there and just learn. Just start practicing from listening to other podcasts. I guarantee you, once you put in infinite banking, you just have to be careful because most people are trying to get that one hit job. They're trying to get like that one song hit wonder. They're trying to get you for as much as they can, and they will never talk to you after that. And I'm in that I don't want to do that situation. I want to be part of your family and help you grow. Because also in the entrepreneurship side, what if you had a business deal and you just say, hey, Nelson, I have an opportunity to buy these buildings. I want to invest more in my business. Do you know anybody that has some funds that we can work with? Of course I can talk to, maybe what if I want to do it and I know something? Or I know people that are doing this and they're like, hey, I need to put some money into some projects. What do you recommend? So that entrepreneurship side has been helping me understand and get better too and learn where to put money into instead of just parking it somewhere that it's going to be very hard to get to.
One of the things that I like about you is you really go off that concept of I don't know if I'm saying this right, your net worth is how you network.
Correct.
Right? So the more people you know and the more people you surround yourself that are, like they say at church, above us, beside us, and below us. We're looking up to those people above us. We're engaging with the people that are next to us, and we're helping those people below us. So having that network of people is really huge.
Yep,
so
that's perfect.
That's awesome.
Well, awesome. Thanks for your questions. That's it for this one.
Free commercial? Who are we giving a free commercial to today? Luke, any suggestions back there behind the mic?
Nope.
Okay.
Free commercial? You know what? We're giving a free commercial to Starstream, since that's the t-shirt you're wearing, Luke. Starstream is it's a Starlink product. Elon Musk, they have Starlink. And Starstream, you do this live video stuff. So when we do our racing, you could log into our
really?
Starstream.
Oh, that's
my
pretty
buddy
cool.
George has a business called Starstream. You can log in, you can watch live race footage anywhere in Mexico, anywhere in the desert.
Cool.
And it's like real time, real life.
Is he
real
from
life
San
stuff.
Diego, or where's your buddy from, George?
George, I don't know where you're from. I believe he's in San Marcos.
Oh, so he's local.
Yeah, he's local.
Oh, that's cool.
So, but
Okay,
yeah,
so yeah, throw it out there.
travels out. You guys ever want to check some
uh,
stuff out online and you're into like off-road adventures and whatnot, check out Starstream.
Awesome. Starstream it is.
Alrighty, thank you.
right.
Have a great day, huh?
Thank you.